Hey guys, Chasta here for Soundwaves TV. Super stoked to have Eddy of the band Eddy Undertow with us today. How's it going?
Oh, it's pretty good, Chasta.
Didn't realize you were an astronaut.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and give you credit. This is the coolest jacket anyone has worn on Soundwaves TV.
Oh, really?
Without a doubt. Where do you get a jacket like that?
Well, space.
Of course. Why did I ask that stupid question? Love your band, Eddy Undertow.
Oh, thank you.
Fantastic. When did you start this band?
So Eddy Undertow started in 2016.
Okay.
Right when I moved to San Francisco.
Okay. So we were kind of talking before we went on camera here, and he said something that kind of blew my mind. So now I have to ask you. You said you moved here from Vietnam?
Yeah, that's right.
What were you doing in Vietnam?
I was getting pretty wild in Vietnam.
Yes. Tell us stories. It only goes out to the world. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, so it's like imagine a street.
Yes.
And imagine a street, and on that street there's like 5,000 motorbikes.
Oh, yes. I've been to Vietnam. I've seen that. The motorcycle, it's like a brigade. It's unreal.
Yeah.
The children, they're holding on to children.
And bringing all sorts of stuff to like
Construction items.
a box with like 100 teddy bears.
Yeah,
on it.
totally.
Yeah. No, it's nuts.
Insane. Did you live there?
Yeah, I lived there. I lived there for about 6 months, and I was playing in this group called the Apollo Band at this place called Saigon Ranger, which was in District 1 with some really good guys. And yeah, it was pretty far out.
That's crazy. Okay, so I have a feeling Vietnam might not have been your first country other than the states you lived in.
No.
Okay, tell me some other places.
I lived in India, France.
Yeah.
I lived in Ukraine for a long time, and Singapore.
Wow, so you're a musical gypsy.
Yeah.
This is my dream, or was my dream. Well, not the musical part because I can't play, but just the traveling part.
Anybody can play.
Well, I love that. Yeah, it's never too late, right?
True.
Yeah, it's true. But the traveling part, you and I were discussing as well off camera by India. India is such a phenomenal place. How long did you live there?
About 4 months.
Wow. So what inspires you to just go, okay, you know what? I've lived here for 4 months. I'm going to move on and go wherever.
I think it was just a little bit of that rambling spirit, you know, trying to get out there and sink your teeth into the world, see what it tastes like.
Yeah. Is it all the same vibe as far as music goes as Eddy Undertow, or are you just kind of playing all kinds of different stuff in other countries?
I think what turned into Eddy Undertow came from a lot of different things. So I grew up with a lot of blues and jazz on the stereo, and then I kind of went out to all those punk rock shows at the Fireside Bowl in Chicago.
Yeah.
And then that kind of mixed with everything that was happening, because like when I was coming up, it was right when music started to go digital, and all of a sudden everything was right there at your fingertips. So it was like all of a sudden I could listen to things from the 20s that were only on, you know, some piece of vinyl that somebody had.
Right.
And it was just all of a sudden right all there.
So you have this inspiration from 100 years ago now that you can access.
Yeah.
If you want it. That's so cool.
And that's the whole vision. It's taking the tradition, taking these forms of music that like really reached their peaks 40 years ago, and making something new out of them.
Yeah, kind of making it your own.
Yeah.
That's such a cool inspiration. Yeah. I can tell you said you were from Chicago originally, or grew up there. I can see that in your spirit just from talking to you very briefly. You've got that very chill Chicago kind of vibe to you. It's such a cool place. Was it awesome growing up there?
It was, up until a point, you know, when I got into my teenage years, my family moved out to the burbs, and I just couldn't wait to get out.
Yeah.
Couldn't wait to get out.
When did you leave?
I left when I was 18.
Okay.
And then
going where from Chicago?
First I went to Oregon, and went out and hung out in Eugene.
That's a trippy place.
Eugene's a real trip.
Yeah.
Eugene, it's like that place is it's kind of like a really, really nice version of a refugee camp. Because everyone there
that needs
is
to be
kinda,
in like their travel center. Welcome to Eugene. That's great.
Well, everybody there, like, we're too weird for Biloxi, or too weird for wherever else, you know?
Yeah.
And then they wound up in Eugene.
And that's what's beautiful about it, right?
Exactly. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
You meet all these cool characters and stuff.
Eugene's a trip.
Now, you were talking about another member of Eddy Undertow that's a little bit of a cool, funky dude himself.
Oh, Paul, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah,
What's
Paul.
he like?
He's just an earthquake. He's like
earthquake.
He's just when you meet him, he's pretty chill. His mom's from Boston.
Mm-hmm.
But then he'll slip the knife in. You know? he's just
interesting to be in a band with a guy like that, I would imagine.
Yeah, because he'll say something, and then you'll keep on talking, and then you'll look back and be like, "Oh, that was pretty funny."
Kind of sly. Do you guys write everything in Sweet Undertow together? Because your writing is really, really phenomenal. That's what really grabs you about your music.
So I would say that I do the lyrics, and it sort of comes usually from something that I'll put together on an acoustic guitar, and then I'll bring it to Paul and to this guy Joshua Cook of the Joshua Cook and the Key and Now, and he'll help brainstorm through structure and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it'll grow into something from there.
So you've been here since 2016, back from your world travels.
Yeah.
How, Soundwaves TV is all about promoting the Bay Area local music scene.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the scene as it exists right now here in the Bay Area?
It's, I think it's changed a lot. I think that there's a lot of competition from Netflix. And
from everything.
Really?
Yeah.
And I think that the character of the city is... it's changed a little bit too, and so there's not that much of a focus on like live music as much as maybe it was back in the day, but there are still people who come out to shows. There's still venues that'll have people, and so it's there. You got to scratch, but it's there.
That's our whole goal, is to inspire people to actually get off the couch, away from all the things, and have a real human experience with musicians like yourself. And because, music, with as crazy as the world is today, and I'm sure everyone can agree, music is what binds us, right? It's always like the common denominator we can go back to. And so there's nothing better when you're in a room and you're jamming with people who feel the same way about an artist. Yeah. It's magical.
No, I totally agree.
What's it like to feel like that on stage, to get that energy back from the crowd?
Well, look, there's a lot of things that people do in this world, and there is no drug, there's no anything like being up on there, up on that stage, and just playing the right thing and feeling the wave.
I love that. You're really inspiring me to pick up an instrument right now.
Do it. It's never too late.
Well, it's true. I do want to mention your art, though, because I was blown away when I was on your website. You take older instruments and you give them a new life. Tell us a little bit about that, because they're beautiful pieces.
Thank you. Yeah, so I was in Guatemala, and I was in this hospital for a week. As part of this,
as a patient or as a
musician.
Okay, I just want to make sure, because you've led an interesting life, it sounds like. Wanted to clarify.
So I was there, and I was staying in this convent that was part of this hospital, and my job was to play music for all the villagers who would come to see the doctors.
Amazing.
And I stayed up the night before I was leaving. I had to take a bus for like 6 hours back to the capital because we're out in the jungle. And I kind of stayed up the night before, drinking in the atmosphere, so to speak. And I was on the bus, and I was kind of falling asleep and waking up, and I fell asleep, and I had this dream, and in the dream, I was playing Darlene, my guitar, and the jungle, I started making these crazy noises, and I looked down at the guitar, and the jungle had grown into it and started like coming out of the sound hole and like looping up the neck of the guitar.
What kind of drugs were you on at the time?
The worst part is none.
I love that. What a cool inspiration.
Yeah, I woke up and I was like, I can do that.
And you're doing it, and I'm going to have to commission you to do a piece like that. So we have a sunroom in my house, and I can envision it on the wall.
Yeah.
So I love that idea. So hopefully I can hire you to do some work for me.
Yeah, you got a deal.
Yeah. All right. So tell everyone where to find you online and social and all that.
Yeah, for sure. So sweetundertow.com. So Undertow, like the thing in the ocean. Sweet Undertow. So at Sweet Undertow on Instagram, and we're all over the place. Just Google Sweet Undertow. There's no one else out there but us.
Yeah, you're very easy to find. Are you going to perform for us today?
I think I might.
I love it. He walked in with his guitar, and we asked him. We said, "Are you going to play for us?" He was like, we said, "Are you prepared to play?" And your answer was always, which is even better. So, thank you so much for being here. I'm so excited to see you play. Sweet Undertow, fantastic. Thank you so much, Eddy. He'll be right back with his performance here on Soundwaves TV.